Welcome to the Buddhist temple in Toledo. Thank you for coming. We have a special ceremony today in celebration of the new Shoken students. Today is also Bodhi Day, the commemoration of the Buddha's enlightenment, and that celebration will be next week. But for now, please bring your awareness to your breath and enjoy the ceremony. Attention. Attention. Attention.
We come here today with the intention that our commitment as a Shoken student be publicly acknowledged.
The new Shoken students now present themselves to the Sangha. They offer their practice as a model to the community. As the line passes by, please return the bow. The new Shoken students now make 3 bows to the seat of practice. In this seat, they practice Zazen, the core practice of our tradition. Through Zazen, the student seeks to understand the nature of self and of reality. Please prepare for Zazen.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. I invite you to turn your attention in this direction. Again, a very good morning. This is a unique ceremony in the temple. I'll say more about it after the next few rites have concluded. But for now, as a general orientation to those for whom this strange village is entirely new, there are different ways to engage the practice and the training here at the temple. And last night, some number of our league completed a year-long initiation process and were empowered as Shoken students of myself, of Doan Roshi, of this community. The other shoe has to drop, though. There's a few more prizes to give besides the gray robe. So we'll do those, and then we'll explain a bit more. Fukyo, come.
I have come here today with the intention that my commitment as a Shoken student be publicly acknowledged.
Tragedy. On more than one level. Receive the bowls of a practitioner. Only a practitioner can wield them.
Receive the Shoken covenant. The Shoken's covenant.
Tragedy reasserts.
It's been a long week. Only a Shoken student can fulfill it.
There it is. We're tired people. What can we say? All right. Zenyo, please come.
come here today with the intention that my commitment as a Shoken student be publicly acknowledged.
Zenmyo, receive the Buddha's bowl. Only a practitioner can use them.
Zenmyo, receive the Shoken covenant. Only a Shoken student can fulfill them.
Ryukan.
I come here today with the intention that my commitment as a Shoken student be publicly acknowledged.
Ryukan, receive the bowls of a Shoken student. Only a Shoken student can eat through from your bowls.
Got to play the changes. Got to play the changes. Receive the Shoken covenant. Fill it in as you will. Let's see what happens next. Kokai.
I come here today with the intention that my commitment as a Shoken student be publicly acknowledged.
Kokai, receive the Buddha's bowls.
Kokai, receive the Sangha covenant. No, receive the Shoken covenant. One more ring. There it is.
What's happening to us today?
About one mistake, 10,000 mistakes. Day in the life. Karyu, please.
I come here today with the intention that my commitment as a Shoken student be publicly acknowledged.
Karyu, here.
Karyu, receive the Shoken student. Only a Shoken student can fulfill it.
We do not do drugs in this temple.
What's happening?
I don't think any of us know anymore. It's all good. There, it's all fine. There you go. There you go. Some for you. Some for me. Okay. Okay, what happens next? Let's see.
You have to give a talk. We have to give a talk.
No, no, no. We're turning your microphone off. What happens now? Oh, Choke and the. Thank you. Oh God, I talk now. Let us discuss apologizing. Oh my gosh, what to say? Well, firstly, there's an intensive retreat format here, known as sesshin or sesshin, the way we tend to pronounce it. And it means collecting the body-mind, okay? And it's a very intensive practice, okay? For the work of awakening to actually become real, okay, the mind must find stillness. You must find equanimity as a base. But that's not sufficient. There also has to be compassion and ethics. Virtue matters in the world, even if it's empty, particularly because it's empty. And so we gather and we train. But then this wisdom business seeks to be addressed. This personal seeing into the true nature of all things. And you can do this. This is a very human thing. But left to our own devices, we tend to stumble around. We get stuck in cul-de-sacs that we don't realize are cul-de-sacs. We sort of curate our own opinions about things based on, frankly, random life circumstance. And we get stuck. And it's not just us, by the way. In the Buddhist teachings, it said that this is true in any world system, in any universe, in any cosmos. When sentient life arises, as the sutras say it does often, according to the Buddhist canon and sutras and the teachings of the awakened one, the cosmos is teeming with life. An infinitesimally small mote of dust may contain universes within itself. And within the vast, unmeasurable cosmos, still more is to be understood, more to be seen. And in each realm and in any place where sentient beings arise, so too rises suffering. If you have a nervous system and you can feel pleasure and pain, and you can start to form some sense of an identity of yourself as a separate and distinct entity and unit, that is, you're off and running. You're in samsaric life. But once, in every world system, a Buddha will arise. And Buddha was not Siddhartha Gautama's new name. It's a title, means awakened one. And in our particular world system, in this particular time and place, this is the Buddha under whose tutelage we train and practice together. But make no mistake, every one of us that comes to awakening comes to the same awakening that the Buddha did. It will not help you to believe that awakening or enlightenment is possible and that others have done it. Perhaps a lovely thought, but only if it inspires you to do it yourself. And so the Buddha began teaching. In fact, today is the day typically where we recognize the awakening of the Buddha. But that didn't end there. That was the first domino to fall in our world system, and it's been cascading for some 2,600 years into this very temple in this very place. And whilst awakening is your natural human state, your inherent birthright, finding it and developing it and integrating it and letting go of it, well, that takes friends. That takes mentors and guides. And that also, because we're human beings and Homo sapiens, we need to have some shape, some way to engage. And that's what all this is about. It's only here Because it's helpful. That's why. That's the quick answer. Why the robes? Why the bell? Why the incense? Because it works. Because it's helpful. Perhaps not to everyone on the planet, but for those who feel the resonance and alignment with this tradition in this way, it's as necessary as oxygen and water. One of the shapes that training takes is those who are committed to the practice of sesshin, committed to the practice of retreat, which is very intense. That's why we're a little bit punchy. We started on Monday. So there are folks who have been sitting here all day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, decades, years. What day is it? What realm is this? And they visit all the realms in the course of that week. Heaven, hell, longing, instinct, all of it, all of it. But with right training and right practice, eventually we realize the true person of no rank. The true you of no rank. And that's what it's all about. Now within this, there's a private recognition that happened last night. And in the tradition of Zen, there's historical reasons for this. Certain ceremonies are not open to the public. And yet, there's always a public acknowledgement, which is what we're seeing this morning. Last night, in the dark of the eve, behind closed doors, these good folks who just came up put on for the first time the gray robe, which is what it signifies a Shoken practitioner in this community. It's not a universal. There are many sanghas that may have different ways of acknowledging these things. This is how we do it, based on our family style and our tradition and how we were trained. But not only the robe, not only the Shoken robe, the bowls are very important. When the Buddha, centuries ago, began to ordain practitioners and train them, they had the robe, which, by the way, the real robe is one of these. You see many around here, some with Shoken robes, many without. That's the true robe. That's the robe of the Bodhisattva practitioner. But he didn't just give them the robe. He also gave them the bowl. And that's what the little wrapped thing was, okay? There's like a series of, in their case, 3 nested bowls and cloths. And this is the inheritance we have. This lineage came through Japan, beginning in the 12th century to the 20th. So there's 8 centuries of Japanese practice. So, it's folded really nice, and there's cool ways to tie it. But the Japanese inherited it from the Chinese masters and teachers, from, say, the 5th or 6th century to the 12th in our lineage's case. So they had a different way of expressing it, but the bowl was there in a recognizable form. And of course, in the Buddha's own time, well, say what, 500, 600 BC, something like that. So whether you look at a Thai forest monastic or a Tibetan practitioner or a Zen student, these bowls come with the robe. Now, often it's reserved for ordination, but not in the Zen tradition. In the Zen tradition, there really is no difference between an ordained practitioner and a non-ordained practitioner. In terms of wisdom and awakening, there's no difference whatsoever. There's only one robe, but you keep your own bowls. And keep them clean, right? So today we made a formal presentation of the bowl. And you'll see this if you've ever seen, in Japan they call it takohatsu, where they go out in pilgrimage for alms. But you see this in all the traditions. As important, at least, is the presentation of the Shoken covenant, whose words are actually quite clear. And this process of becoming a Shoken student is no simple thing. Actually, the initiate phase now is a 2-year process, because we want to make really sure that before people make this commitment, it's really a fit. And part of our coming to this is the Shoken covenant. And the word is borrowed, if not harvested, from the Western traditions, but it's an appropriate term here. In order for the teachers and the students to engage in the deepest work, I would say, amongst the deepest work that human beings are capable of doing, seeing through the illusory nature of reality, seeing past the false self, which is the cause of suffering, we have to have some ground rules. We have to have some permissions together. We have to have some understanding of what we're doing. In the same way that a surgeon and a patient need to have an understanding about what's about to go down here. It's like that. And so the Shoken covenant is presented. In a moment, I'll ask all the Shoken students in the room to come to a kneeling position on the cushion, if your knees allow such indulgence. If not, seated is fine. And then we'll recite together the Shoken covenant. And for those of you who have already received the Shoken covenant, consider this a renewal of these vows. And to those for whom this is new, simply allow the words to wash over you. And if you have resonance, lovely, and if you don't, that's lovely too, it's okay. I wish to emphasize that there is no only one true way to do things. There are many wonderful and beautiful practices that are noble and worthy, but this is one of them, and it takes a very particular shape. So let's recite our covenant to each other.
In formally entering this relationship as a teacher and a student in the traditions of Zen Buddhist practice, I begin confident that, recognizing the humanity of each other, we will build our relationship as teacher and student on a foundation of mutual trust, honesty, and respect. Recognizing that our time together is short and precious, we commit to manifesting full and complete enlightenment as the fundamental activity of our lives. May we bring all beings to this state. Seeing the imperative of realization in a world filled with suffering, we will bring to bear a courageous presence, vowing not to turn away from each other in the face of hardship. Recognizing that encountering our barriers can be painful, we hold that no and yes can be spoken, heard, and received freely and without fear of negative consequences. Recognizing the rich history of the teacher-student relationship, we understand that the primary function of the teacher is to practice, and that the primary function of the student is to practice with the guidance of the teacher. The primary place for this is at session. Trusting the wisdom of the teachers, we hold that the teacher is safe to can flow in both directions. Further to this, as a Shoken student of the Daishin Kokuji Sangha, I will be a model of practice, immersing my whole heart, mind, and body in the study of the Great Way. Uphold the lineage of the ancestors through diligent practice, liturgical stewardship, academic study, and respect for the three treasures. Be present for and meet with open heart all students, members, and visitors in the Great Heartland Sangha. Approach my training and responsibilities in the community calmly, with a guiding sense of generosity and compassion. The Shoken students have each prepared a poem that captures their experience. And so yesterday, these students sat through the entire day contemplating why they seek to become formal students. At the end of this day of reflection and inquiry, they each composed a poem expressing something of their feelings about the nature of this occasion. And they'll share those with us now.
On the occasion of becoming a Shoken student of Rinsen and Doan, I reflect on the rarity and genuineness of this lineage, on the constant push and pull this way and that, on the many forms, but only one practice. Thus, I express deepest gratitude for this way and my teachers.
On occasion of becoming a Shoken student of Rinsen and Doan. Salty tears, bitter cold, leaves fall, a dragon roars. Looking into your eyes, I see my heart most clearly. Thank you for your practice and your instruction.
On the occasion of becoming a Shoken student of Rinsen and Doan, the world is on fire, love is needed, cultivating love and wisdom through practice. Alone together, my gratitude and love always, elation, elegance, exaltation, a love supreme.
On the occasion of becoming a Shoken student of Rinsen and Doan, cultivating change through your teachings, learning to trust and truly be, in search of reality for the benefit of all. Thank you for your devotion and patience.
On the occasion of becoming a Shoken student of Rinsen and Doan, the winter winds feel no aversion to the budding of daffodils, nor do the tiger lilies fear the inward turn of autumn. I wish to know this freedom, to live with a heart wide open, to hear the cries of the world and respond with clarity and deep love. I recognize that I cannot do this alone, and am so fortunate to have found real teachers. Deepest gratitude.
Your eyes, please. Well done. We'll conclude with the Bodhisattva vows in our recessional.
Thank you all again for being here today. Congratulations to our new Shoken students. In just a little while, there will be lunch, and we hope everyone sticks around to enjoy some food. But before that, I know Jukai has just a couple announcements that she would like to make.
Good morning, everyone. There are a few things in the schedule that I just want to bring your awareness to. For anyone who is interested in membership or interested in what that means at the temple, there is a new member meeting next. This is for new and potential members next Sunday at 8:30. It's an amazing opportunity to meet with Rinzin Roshi and myself. You can see Rinzin's capacity to just meet each of us where we are, and he does that with every person who wants to engage this practice about being a new member. So please join us if you can. Next Saturday is a temple Samu day and a pastathon. And if you are available, we know this is a busy time, there are details on the board about that. And finally, this year has been a year of, what can we say, high activity for our Sangha. Ah, yes, this is true. So as we leave the temple today and go into winter, may we go into the silence and deepening of that practice. And when we get to the new year, instead of having a formal ringing in the New Year service at temple, we're just asking that you take time in your own way to consider your intentions for your new year, for the new year to come, and to spend a little time on the cushion, and however much time you want to spend celebrating, and bring in the new year from each of our home spaces this year. Thank you all for your practice. Congratulations to the Shoken students. Please restore the Zendo.